Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So after I nearly kicked the bucket, I finally am out of the hospital. Got out of the hospital last night, and now we can finally talk about MCOC stuff, because why not? And obviously the first thing I have to talk about is this CAPS commissary event and the solo events and the offers and everything else. And I got asked about this a lot already in my first stream, and needless to say, it seems that pretty much everybody hates this event. Unless you're like a mega whale and you really don't care about, you know, how much money you spend on the game. Most people are jaded to this event at best to extremely negative at most, and we can actually see that, you know, in a lot of forum threads from just community interactions. Does CAPS commissary store have a fair good deal? And now we have definitely 2%, 3 people voted for that, and just 1 or 2 deals are good, and then there's the store is not worth attention for free-to-play players as well, and even for like moderate spenders, it's not. I don't want to completely bury this event. I will save my final judgment until we see the actual final offers for it, because if we take a look in the game, it does say that there will be CAPS commissaries, special events and bonuses. Where is that message from the mail? It does say, perhaps it's deleted somewhere, that, you know, we're gonna get new trading deals and whatnot on 24th and then on 27th, I believe. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that, you know, Kabam is saving the best for later and putting kind of like cherry on top of the event or stuff, something like that. Problem here is definitely the way they're presenting in the communication, and here part of the blame also lies with community and, you know, people in general, and definitely massive part of the blame lies with Kabam. The problem here is Kabam, by now, as you know, they're running this game for many years, should know that people will jump to conclusions, and this will cause a stir in the community for multitude of reasons. Because if you don't know something for sure, it basically might not as well exist. Because we have no idea what type of offers we are going to get, whether they're going to be any better or they're going to be as, you know, relatively mediocre and jaded as these ones. Only thing we do know that we do not have cash offers coming anymore, because they are for the entire duration, and this is basically it. There will be no different cash offers. So if you are planning to spend something, which I don't necessarily recommend, for 99.999% of the population and player base, you know, this is it. You're not going to get anything worse or better. Right. The problem is obviously with communication. Leaving that many details uncertain, I get it kind of feels like they have drunk their own Kool-Aid, and they kind of expect community to see these events from their side of view without any of the information they're getting. The reality is, we have no clue what we're going to get after this, how easy it is going to get the solo event milestones and anything else. And because of it, you know, naturally people are just jumping to conclusions. People are figuring out what they feel of this event based on what they see in front of them and what they are certain of. But if you don't know what offers you are getting exactly and whether they're going to be good or bad, you're just going to take it all as kind of crap. So I do think that this event could still be decent for most people, but we do have to wait, and then I'll probably make another follow-up video on this entire thing. Right. That said, first let's talk out these cash offers, and then let's jump to the actual store and the solo event. And the cash offers, well, they're just kind of meh. First of all, I do personally have an issue with Kabam trying to kind of like make another sales day happen when we already have this many. Again, Kabam has progressively increased the amount of cash that you need for these July 4th, for gifting events, for spring cleanings, and for cyber weekends. It started with 1 bundle each, then it went to 3 bundles each, then it goes to 4 bundles each, then it's 4 bundles each plus the web store. And these events as well. At the start, it was just the cyber weekend, and then gifting event became a thing, then spring cleaning appeared out of nowhere, July 4th came somewhere in the middle at the beginning side as well, and we went from like 1 or 2 big sales spending days in MCOC to 3 to 4, and now it's gonna be 5, I guess, and it's just too much, I think, for relatively reasonable mortal people. So I do think they are at a very, very high. I think they already overdid the July 4th, and they tore massive shift in the player base that just started to heal with the improved access to these resources. And now they're just escalating the problems again. And as I say, every time the Kabam does a massive sales event, they're tearing a massive shift in the community in between those who have money, and a lot of it, and those who have little or no money. And then it's kind of their job to patch that gap, to patch that, scar that they create in community and the divide until the next sales day. And they were starting to do a relatively decent job with the store updates and other stuff. And this just, tears it right open and prematurely, in my opinion. And I don't think they're going to make a ton of money from this. I honestly don't, because these offers, what we're getting right now, are just mediocre offers. I don't think they're awful, but I think this is approximately the level of offer that you can expect randomly logging in on any given Thursday. I don't think it's anything more exciting than that, because, Tier 3 Alphas, Tier 6 Basics are becoming more and more available. Tier 6 CCs are also becoming more available. Relics, nobody really cares about them or spends much money for them unless you're like a mega whale. And then the Titan shard amounts are minuscule, considering that you need 20k shards. That might, if you calculate it as like 250 6-star shards and 6-star appeared, for instance, it just seems pretty crap, because you need double the amount of shards for that crystal. And 2,500 7-star shards also doesn't seem anything that's like magical, that's worth spending $70 on. And you put it all together, like, it's not an awful value, but again, it's something you expect, basically from a monthly card. It's something you expect from any random Thursday offer. And therefore, the fact that you can get 5 of them now, and then you put it all together, yes, it does amount to something, but what does it amount to? If you put 5 of these together, you get what? A 7-star crystal? 5-star relics, and, a rank up. You get a new rank 2, basically. Is it worth 350? I'd say no. I don't have that money to spend, especially right now, with the hospital bills and move and all that other stuff. And I don't feel pressured to. And that's the thing. I think they missed the mark with this. Because this offer, to me, seems almost borderline pointless and does nothing more than infuriate the community. Yes, the 1% people will buy all of these, because they always do. Whether it's Thursday, whether it's this event day. But those people who spend on the big sales days and buys the best offers, they have some budget for MCOC, they're probably not going to be getting this, or hardly any of this, because it's just not that great. And the people who hardly ever spend will look at this and they feel like that they miss out, and they also have like negative emotions towards this entire thing. So from my point of view, I think this entire cash set of offers, it's just too damn mediocre and too much of it, because if you add it all up, it adds like 650 pounds or something like that, and that's a lot of money. And yeah, okay, in total you get some, but it's just not that worth it. July deals are definitely better, Cyber Weekend deals definitely will be better, and everybody knows it. And offers like this just piss everybody off. The worst thing that Kabam can do, and potentially they have done, is make these offers borderline mandatory if you want to get the final milestone in the solo event, which is where we can get to. But this, again, I think it's a poor layout, because this so far seems relatively confusing. Nothing's clear and nothing seems like super impressive. And again, my question is kind of why? I mean, like, obviously why money, but it just seems a very stupid way of going around it. They could have, given us a couple of $100 deals that are really good, that everybody feels somewhat pressured to get. And, yeah, it wouldn't be awesome, but at least they would sell something. But with these, it's kind of like, meh. Okay, fine. So, cash deals, I think, are mediocre at best. And if you put it in context of some sort of big event, I think they're shit. Let's move on to the store. And the store, again, the most important thing about the store is there will be more stuff to trade in and to do tomorrow and in a few days again. But we can't judge that. I'm reiterating that, not to kind of like allow people to use this as some sort of final condemnation, because it is perfectly plausible that there's going to be some magically amazing, 7-star crystal for 10 million gold or something. I don't think so, but it's perfectly plausible, therefore I'm not going to discount it. So far, 999 units for 6-star awakening gem and 50 signature stones. Shit. Get 6-star awakening gem every single month in side events, and yeah, you can always use more 6 stones, but it's nothing that, I'd want to spend, what is it now, $30, $35 equivalent worth of units for, especially when you know those units probably will be better spent elsewhere very, very soon. So this is objectively crap. Now the thing with signature stones for 6-star awakening gem, I have 12 genetics. I can probably easily trade it, but even with this one, which I think is a decently good value, because I genuinely don't need that many 6-star awakening gems, I don't want to get it because I don't know if there's going to be a trade-in for a 7-star awakening gem coming. It could easily be trade-in, 10 or whatever generic awakening gems for a 7-star awakening gem, and I'd be like, I wanted that, but if I get this, I don't know if I'm going to have enough 6-star awakening gems. So again, this is just Kabam screwing themselves over here. These gold ones, the gold ranker bundles, I think if you have a lot of gold, they're decent. If you don't bother. Like, if you don't have regularly and normally 30 million plus gold, don't bother with these, because it's just a rank 4. I got them because my gold stash is pretty much always above 100 million. So, yeah, I got them. But, it's 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 gem. It's nothing that I'm excited for. It's not that big of a deal. And it's quite a lot of gold. So I think these suck for a really large portion of community. I think these are not even great, but if you have the gold, fair enough. But if you have like typically around 10, 20 million, I probably wouldn't get it. I probably would just, wait for the Battleground store reset that gives you like half of this, and Glory store and whatever side event, and you're done. Right? 8,888 units for this 6-star rank 4 to 5 gem. Not getting it. Way too expensive. I can promise you, I can guarantee you're going to get well better value either in gifting event or Cyber Weekend or whenever. So this is garbage. And 11 6-star crystals for 7-star. Yeah, if you had 6-star shards saved up, this is fair offer. That's 165,000 6-star shards, which would, if you get all max Sig crystals, roughly equate, I think, to about 5k. So this is about double the value. I think this is fine. If you have the 6-star shards saved up, I think this is a good way how to, make them go further, basically. I think this is a decent value. It's a very weird offer, but I think this one's decent. And now we obviously have 1,100 units for 1,600 6-star. Shit, I wouldn't recommend anybody spend units on this. Or, yeah, no, I wouldn't. 6-star shards are very common these days. You get a lot of 6-stars and 6-star shards for virtually everything in the game, starting from side events to monthly events to, if you really want to, in Battleground store and whatnot. So I think this is rubbish as well. It's an 6-stars are absolutely not anything that I would want to spend units or money on unless it's a new champion, which obviously this isn't. And even this is undervalued. Believe it or not, if you trade in 100 tickets or so, you only get back like 650k gold, but to get 100 tickets with loyalty, you need to spend more. So I think this was actual miscalculation. I think even this gold trade-in back thing is crap. It really is, because you operate at a net loss. Because again, when you buy the tickets with gold, there's an escalating price for it. So if you buy the 99 tickets, which is pretty much what everybody does, which is the cheapest set of 99 that you can get, it costs like 700 something k, and you get back 600k. So even this is ripped. So I think this is a huge mistake. I think the rest of the event might still be decent, but the start of it is just atrociously bad. It's just, most of these offers, or like almost all but, one, I just recommend people ignore. And it's like, why would Kabam launch an event with this? Like, I can understand or somewhat justify these type of deals being in with other good ones, but there are no good ones. It just seems, again, stupid. So the next ones maybe seem better, but if the next ones aren't significantly better, it's just going to get people even more pissed off. And then we have the solo event. Where is it? Is it this? One second. Yeah. Here we have solo event. I actually need to do my test of Paragon. I need to level up somebody quickly. Volume solo event, enlistment. Yeah, it's this one. Caps commissary solo event. So what are the rewards? $1 million gold is basically nothing. Now we have objective selector. Okay, some 6-star shots, but again, it's like nothing, crazy. And I'm not even close to earning it yet. 900 units, that's nice. And then talking about the final prize. Civil Warrior 7-star Hero Crystal. For 99.9% of the player base, 7-star Hero Crystal is way better than Civil Warrior. Average champion that you would get from 7-star Crystal is way better than Civil Warrior. Like, unless you pull like Venom the Duck, you're probably better off with the 7-star Crystal. I have, relatively big account, don't have like a ton of 7-stars or anything. Even I'm thinking, it's like, I'll just take my chances with that 7-star Crystal. Civil Warrior is going to be, arena points. Remember the meta when, unless Civil Warrior is getting a buff, which again Kabam should have told us, and nobody's doing anything with Civil Warrior ever. I mean, only reason why I would grab it is if I try maybe place highly this season, because I think he could be quite good in the next meta, because he gains a lot of armor ups. Maybe? I don't know. But even if he is, I don't think he would make the deck. So, man, I think I just probably end up better off with the 7-star Crystal. And that's like the Cavalier prize. Paragon and Thronebreaker is like, yeah, Civil Warrior is like, who had the bright idea to make Civil Warrior like the grand prize to begin with? It's just weak. It's like, Kabam is turning the Unit Man meme into a thing. It's like, come on. It's like, again, what? It's just annoying. Genuinely, a random 7-star is gonna be better in 31 times out of 32. Because Venom the Duck exists in that crystal. And this is what I have the biggest problem with. There seems to be like a massive disconnect, because there seem to be some very competent people working at Kabam. DLL is a great champion designer. Whenever he designs champions, I'm pretty much somewhat confident that it's going to be at the very least good champion. Not necessarily something that I love. For instance, Absorbing Man is not the type of champion that I'm like, oh, I absolutely love playing him, but I can respect him as a good champion. So there are people like that. There are people, whoever worked on Incursions, clearly knows that they're doing the improvements, makes sense, it's logical. Obviously, it's not necessarily perfect, but it's definitely, in the right direction, right improvements made by somebody who understands the problems in Incursions game mode and is working to fix them. Who the fuck does these things? Because these make no sense. It's like it's such a polar opposite in general competence in this stuff. And again, to be fair, maybe the entire event is planned fine, and there is some sort of grand picture that comes together. Maybe. Perfectly willing to give benefit of the doubt. But in that case, whoever communicates this is a fucking donkey, because everybody hates it, even if it has the potential to be great. So, you know, objectively speaking, somebody did very, very shit piece of a job somewhere down the line. Whether whoever designed this entire event or whoever was in charge of presenting it to the community. Because when it's all put together, everybody hates it. It seems kind of pointless. There's like, you know, 1% whales who might be interested in it, and Kabam looks quite shit. And again, I'm just being about as restrained as I can be, giving them as much benefit of a doubt, assuming that the next, you know, trade-in offers might be better. But it just is what it is. So let me know what you guys think about this event. So far, again, utterly underwhelming, unimpressed, and just frustrating to begin with. Can't recommend you guys go for cash offers. I can't recommend you guys do much of the trading stuff. And the only potential saving grace, again, which I kind of optimistically hope for, is going to be the next offers that we see coming in that commissary store. But even then, you know, why do all this? Why make people go through this, and why create this impression of the event, even if it turns out, like, again, there is a possibility that people will celebrate this as the best event of 2023 based on whatever's going to come, you know, in the next offers. But if so, even if so, why do this then? Maybe you know. Tell me your theories. Yeah, if you guys want to help me out with medical bills stuff and everything else, then I'll leave the Streamlabs link in the video description and pinned comment. Don't feel forced to. You guys already have been far too generous to me. But that was fun. I am getting better though. I am getting better. Getting healthier. Still, obviously, post-op and post-surgery, it's, you know, annoying, but it's fine. I'll catch you guys soon. Bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about